have just drained the bathroom, put my clothes on, and said, now you can call.
Yeah.
Match up. Match up.
Something like that.
Oh,
I'm not good at that
That's
stuff.
okay. That's what I told him. I was like, to make sure there are no students in my room. Would not have when I deliver. I was like, I don't want any students in my room.
Do you have your binder, Sadie? Yeah. You need to hit three rows and you want to three pins right
Yeah.
She's got a good memory though.
and so I write down, so I'm like, okay, I'm making all the memories I can have.
And usually I have a little recorder thing that I record stuff with because I can't read my handwriting sometimes.
Well, see, my problem is I don't remember where I left off on my pager.
At the bottom of the page that you were on.
Well, see, that's the problem. I got all out of order.
Did you number them?
No.
Oh, girlfriend, you gotta number them.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. I'm like, oh, bud.
All right, so we're gonna delve in a little bit more into club outreach. This is PFAD 004. I'm Matthew Cullinan, master guide from originally Mexico, came up to Colorado, and then now Montana. We're trying to help out with as much as we can, wife and I together. Before we get started, let's have a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for your love for us, and continue to watch over us. Be with us as we go through this expansion on outreach. Continue to watch over us. Give me your words and not mine. And everything, thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So, the purpose of this, we're going to understand investiture achievements, requirements enabling spiritual development, encourage spiritual growth in your Pathfinders through the Bible and history, engage your Pathfinders in connecting with their community through sharing their faith and activities, integrate additional outreach events into your club calendar. All right. When you guys hear Pathfinders and Adventures, what does most people think about?
Arts and crafts.
Okay. And something else.
Camp skills.
All right.
Can collecting.
Nap time.
Marching, yeah.
Marching.
Marching.
You say nap time?
I wish.
Oh,
I mean, that time
We
is
can
good.
make that long, okay?
we should. Jesus had to take a nap once in a while.
Yes.
So there you go.
Some other thing that might come up is Pathfinder Bible Experience, or formerly known as Bible Bowl. Pathfinders is a chance for us to help our young people expand their horizons in their walk with God and learning new skills, learning about themselves and others. But then going a step further is reaching out to newfound personal faith and confidence to share with those around them. So that's what we're getting into with the outreach. We've already touched on it a little bit. We're just going to continue going into it a little bit more with outreach. And I will, sorry. All right. Luke 10:25 and 30 through 37. Christ shared this parable in response to the question, who is your neighbor? Yeah, no, I got it. You want to read it?
Oh, you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said, he said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answered, saying, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy might, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right, this do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said to Jesus, Who is my neighbor? And Jesus answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked upon him, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that showed mercy upon him. And Jesus said unto him, Go, and do thou likewise.
So the real neighbor, Jesus says, is the person who shows mercy in a concrete way. He commanded his followers to go and do likewise. This story is particularly important because Jesus chose to make the good neighbor a Samaritan, a member of an ethnic group that was despised at the time and looked down upon by the religious community that Jesus was a part of. He was pointing out that following God was above the content of your character and not your race or culture. It was about the content. Sorry about that. Matthew 25, 31 through 46. Man come in his glory, and all the angels with him, and when he shall sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered the nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. He shall set the sheep on his right, and the goats on the left. And the king said unto them on his right, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see thee in hunger, and feed thee, and of thirst, and gave thee drink? When did we see thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when did we see thee sick, or in prison, and come unto thee? The king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, insomuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me. And he shall say unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, unto everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, and you visited me not. Then they also answered him, saying, Lord, when we were and hungered and thirsted, a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? And he shall answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, insomuch as you did it not to one of the least of these, you did it not unto me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into everlasting life. Christ was showing them that it's about his character. It's not about necessarily always giving everything. It's doing it when you're impressed. When you're supposed to have that direct encounter with the people that you are ministering to. And whether that is the Pathfinders that we're dealing with, whether that's the stranger in the outreach, or whoever it is that you're addressing or talking to. All right. We're going to do a little bit different. We're going to go over the pledge and law, and I'd like you guys to each write down what it means to you directly. Just right on top of it, and then we're going to go, I'm going to give you about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're going to go back and share a couple of the ideas of what you think the different portions of the pledge and law mean to you personally.
Give him an extra one.
I'm sure it's really,
He needs to do double the work.
yeah, I'm sure my wife, she just takes it off.
Each one. Write down your thoughts,
Be
please.
back in school.
Welcome to the quiz. We're gonna have it at the end of the topic.
All right, how we doing? Need more time? A little bit?
Maybe 3 or 4 more minutes.
Do we need to separate you?
Okay, now, this is your first warning. If we see anything improper, we will have you move.
Gonna have to separate you.
I can put you in my timeout corner.
Please? Maybe we could take a nap?
No, that means you and your little friend can't see each other for a while.
I'm okay with that.
After years and years.
I finally got away with it. All I had to do was go to a conference.
Why didn't you tell me that sooner?
Make sure there wasn't a no on the back.
Oh, is that no?
Like, wait a minute, hold on.
Just that one.
Oh my god, I don't know, you know.
All right. Thoughts on by the grace of God? The first part, just that one sentence, one statement.
With his help. Relationship.
God's love, which shows for us as sinners.
Okay.
Grace to make mistakes.
I put down to start all life. All right. I will be pure, kind, and true. Anyone want to share their thoughts on that one?
Lord,
No.
go ahead.
Be like Jesus.
Okay.
Loyal, honest, and a friend to all.
I will be careful what I put in front of my eyes, what I listen to with my ears, and what I place in my mouth, so that I also can have the same proceed from me to others.
Holding, we become changed. What we put in, we get out. are gonna do this. If we're gonna expect the kids to be able to do this, we need to also be able to go through it and verbalize to them what we think it means. Because if we just tell them, oh yeah, what you wrote down, that's a good idea. That's just resounding what they're saying. We have to be and know. I will be a servant of God and a friend to man. Anybody want to share their thoughts on that one?
Being willing to do what God asks you to do, and by treating others the way you'd want them to treat.
The golden rule.
Not putting myself first.
Yes. It doesn't say, I'm going to put myself first, and then I'm going to be a servant of God, and then last I'm going to be a friend of Him. No, it says, I will be a servant of God, and a friend to man. I must keep the Pathfinder law. I will keep the Pathfinder law. The both of them tied together, the pledge and the law. It should be said with the opening ceremonies. We'll move that further on the trail. Don't worry, we'll circle back to that. Both of these should be said or recited by the Pathfinders and the singing of Pathfinder song, because each of them have a significance to the Pathfinders and what we are trying to impart to them. Okay? The law is for me to keep the morning watch. What's that?
Morning and evening devotions.
Not first each day.
Praying, and more praying.
Do my honest part.
Being wholehearted in anything you do.
Putting everything that you can. Doing my honest part. Putting the best foot forward. The Israelites were told to bring the lamb. They didn't bring the lamb that was lame. They didn't bring the spotted lamb. They brought the best lamb that they had. And if they couldn't afford a lamb, then the social ladder was allowed for them. They could bring it down. They could bring the different things. It wasn't always just the lamb, but they all represented the lamb. Okay? Care for my body.
I will take care of the temple He gave me.
I wrote down temperance.
8 laws of health.
Yeah. Keep a level eye.
I think study scripture is mine, because that's the only way you can keep a level eye.
Okay.
I wrote, I will respond with prayerful consideration.
I just underlined level. Because having a construction background, a level is just a tool to measure something. Now, our tool to measure something is God. Our tool to measure ourselves is God. But I just wrote that down because too often in life we can get into either one of the ditches. We can make it, well, you can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. If that's your truth, that's your truth. No, there is truth. And then the other side is, I am doing everything that I can. I am doing all of the right things. I am doing all of the health message. I'm making sure that I'm not eating too much salt. I'm making sure that all the things are good things. But is that your God? Is that who you are focused on? Keeping a level eye will be in the middle. Focused on God and focused on the actual reason that we need to do this. Be courteous and obedient. I put down the golden rule. I heard something about the golden rule that I've been trying to apply to myself. We always try to apply the golden rule to other people. I want to treat them the way that I want to be treated. Sometimes we have to turn that around on ourselves. Because God loves me, I need to treat him the same way that God would want me to be treated. And I have to treat myself that way in his eyes. Walk softly in the sanctuary.
Be humble to God.
For he's a vengeful God. He wants us. He wants us to have that relationship with him. Keep the song in my heart.
But I will try to find joy in every situation and be thankful for his leading, even when I cannot see it.
That one is very poignant to both of us because we just moved up here. And we're living in a trailer. 42 feet long. We have 4 kids. Mother-in-law, father-in-law. Also, we want to get to a house. We want to move on to property. But we have to wait on God's timing. And his timing is perfect, but we have to wait sometimes. And it's sometimes very hard. Last one is go on God's errands. Anybody have anything for that?
God says, go, do it, do it. Whatever it is.
As the small voice said to, I'm thinking of, here I am, send me. I think of the movie.
The song?
No, not the song.
Oh.
Samuel. In the priest.
Now
He
you have
said,
to speak, Lord.
speak, Lord, for your servant. All right. We need to encourage our Pathfinders, our adventurers, to apply the pledge and law to their own life and to make it real for them in their walk. To do that, we have to make it real in our lives. All right, is Pathfinders only Adventist?
Absolutely not.
How many people have Pathfinders that are not actively coming to the church or not Adventists at all? Is that a witness? Is it not a mission field that we need to be actively pursuing? It is a great soul-winning agency. It gives parents also the opportunity to get closer to their child and to God together. It helps children in our church expand their growth of Christ past just their parents' religion. I think we've all touched on that. Making the application more than just about the honors, about having fun in nature. Yes, having fun in nature is byproduct, but it is about winning souls to Christ. We had one of our Pathfinders in Texaco that she was part of the welding class at church, or at her school, and she was doing welding, and another student after the class told her, I'm part of Boy Scouts. And so she said, hey, I do this thing Pathfinder, like girls and Boy Scouts, but with religion, with God. And brought this young boy to Pathfinders. And it was amazing to see this switch. He came from a very hard family. It was not a good home life. But you could see the switch. It happened for him. And we brought him, and we just started showing him, hey, yes, you did Boy Scouts, but this is another reason to do all of these honors and all of these things that he did through the Boy Scouts. But we have helped him apply it to that, but he took to it.
The story also, he joined Pathfinders late in the year. We were just over halfway through the year. And when he came in, he saw that he was behind, and this boy grew so much in those last few months, and he completed all of his investiture requirements. He did his journaling, and he did all the different things because he started to see a care and a love for him, and then therefore he wanted to do more.
Yep. I think he was he guide? He came in as guide.
He came in and started guide. Yeah.
He started guide and went all the way through it in about a month. He went like of his own.
About 4 months total, but yeah. He did a lot of he ended up doing a lot of the journaling and stuff, in a shorter time.
I think he did master on that, but I don't remember for sure.
No, just there.
When we're reaching youth that are new to the church or that want to be a part of our church, we also share with their parents. Because he went home and he talks to his parents about this stuff. Because he's finding a new way to do things that are not the same way. Especially for those who may have had bad experiences with a church in their past, but still want their children to be around a good Christian influence. These are people who might have done Pathfinders as a kid, but they don't want to necessarily be in the church, but they want their children to be part of it. Those are still people that we can minister to their children and hopefully make a change for them also. This can be an opportunity to share our faith in a way that might not seem as scary as walking into a new church as a stranger. All right. Serving others is an investiture achievement. Part of investiture achievements is completing something that involves Pathfinders getting into their community and helping where they can. Adventures can also be included in this, maybe in a smaller capacity. We're not going to send adventurers out on their own to collect cans. But they can go with the Pathfinder. Oh yeah.
It's like they can
There are ways that they can still be a part of it.
send those kids to those doors. They'll get all those cans. Look at people can't say no to those cute little faces.
But
Junk food. People can't ignore that.
yes, of course. They can also do other things that some of the Pathfinders might not be able, or might not be as willing to do. But writing get well cards or helping in this nursing home, singing and craft language. One of the things that one of the last honors we did before we moved up here, or up to Colorado first. It's been a couple of months. We did the first aid honor. And all the Pathfinders went through it. It's a requirement for staff to have it, so all the staff went through it. We brought in all the people that had to be there, fully accredited, all that kind of stuff. We get them all of the information about what to deal with in different situations, stroke, heart attack, infants, all of BLS. And this was on a Sunday, we did it. The next Saturday, a bunch of the Pathfinders went and sang at the nursing home. And as they're singing at the nursing home, one of the patients has a seizure. She was not put in the proper chair. Don't know all of the specifics behind it. She had a seizure. She fell out of her chair in front of all of the Pathfinders, and it made it real to them. Because now, what are you going to do? Are you just going to stand there and say, what do we do? No, they knew what to do. They're like, hey, this person's having a seizure. So one of them gently moved her onto her side. Another one called for the nurses that are there. She's in a care facility, but it made it real to them. So yes, they were ministering to the community. They were making community outreach. But by doing that community outreach, and by talking to and singing for the residents of the care home, they were ministered to because they got to see another part of it and how quickly it can go from somebody just sitting in a chair to laying on the ground with a busted nose because of a seizure, and what to do in that situation. So it really applied it to them, and they all came back talking that it was extremely profound to them directly because they had to experience it. That's not something that you can always learn in a classroom environment of, hey, this is what might happen. So it was very God appointed. All right. What have you done before? I know we've talked about a couple of these already. Food bank, holiday can collection, food box. Some of them did today. Memorial Day flag ceremony, soup kitchens, clothing banks, homeless blessing bags, firefighter and police thank you boxes. That's a couple of the big things that we did in Texaco. Because of Fort Bliss, there's a very large community of veterans, of course, and then there's the Fort Bliss Cemetery that's there. And every Memorial Day, we're doing it in a couple of days, they will go out and they will,
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is the first one. They go in the spring.
They do both.
Oh yeah. But they go out and they place flags. But because of them going out there and doing that, they've been in El Paso times a bunch of times because yes, there's Boy Scouts and there's Girl Scouts and then there's Pathfinders. They were out there in full dress uniform.
Yeah, it was actually a really great opportunity for the kids because they're like, oh, y'all are Boy Scouts or you must be the Girl Scouts or something. And they're like, no, we're Pathfinders. Like, well, what's Pathfinders? And it gave the kids the opportunity to kind of explain what they've been learning, what the purpose is. And these are journalists that are asking them, people who were there taking pictures and reporting on it.
Cool.
So,
And yes, we did bring adventurers out there. We have a lot of photos of our kids in adventure, full get-ups. out there in Fort Bliss, walking all over the cemetery, placing flags, and there's always the Pathfinder, an adult in the vicinity. It's a large cemetery, but it's a very big impact. Another thing that we did there in Texaco was they did the McKelligan Canyon Run. They did that for fundraising. They would run up and you get sponsors and different stuff like that, but it's another outreach that they did.
They have a booth there where they do handouts and they talk about it.
And then everybody runs in Class B's, or C uniform. What outreach activities do you want to try?
I want to try to get our club out of their comfort zone.
I would love to do the caroling thing.
To
and
quit doing the same ones that we've done over and over and over
Try something
again,
new.
because it's just what we do.
I'd like to get the kids out, maybe find people who need somebody to help chop wood, or, you know, they have difficulty maybe scraping snow off their sidewalks or things like that. I think this is how we reach people, is where they physically need it, you know.
And I also would like that our club not do outreach because their parents do the outreach. Oh, my
Kids
mom,
need to be doing it.
my mom and dad do feed the flathead, so I have to do feed the flathead.
Which, I mean, it can be a good thing, but maybe have one of the times where just the Pathfinders are doing it, you know, not just the parents. So,
Yeah.
okay, they're the ones serving, or, you know.
Yeah.
How would you go about preparing these activities?
Research to see what's needed, who
Okay,
we need to contact,
okay,
what we need to do for our church for insurance and licensing, and how are we going to do this? And then call Darren and tell him to come down with his trailer, because we're gonna get hay bales and go around certain neighborhoods.
Have any of you ever done anything with GYC? So GYC does a prep community before they even go out.
Have no clue.
And so GYC is the General Youth Conference, then they changed it to Generation for Youth of Youth for Christ.
Probably not.
And it's, well, they have a meeting for the kids, and they have different sub-meetings off of that. But also, some of the big things is they do a lot of outreach during it. But they do some prep work ahead of time. They go out to the community, they have certain people that do it. They ask the community, like, hey, what would you be looking for? What could you use? You know, what would be useful to you in your community? You know, whether it's cooking classes or financial freedom type classes, what would be useful to you? And I think it's important to know what your community around you is looking for, because that's where your ministry starts. And reaching them there, and then, you know, then they can ask questions and they can find out more information.
And ultimately, being able to achieve it and have a finished product of, see, this is what the kids are doing. And be able to come back on a Sabbath and have the kids stand up front and say, this is the outreach we did this month, or this is the outreach we did this year.
and that comes back to putting them in front of the church to get the support and the
Where
interaction.
you can.
Where you can, but it continues to be in front of them, and it continues to bring it up in their mind. It's real good. Grace, if you continue to have them involved, and show them that this is not just going out and earning honors, which honors are good. I have nothing against honors. I just want to make sure that they are for this specific reason.
So that'd be a time for have Pathfinders go to the board meeting and ask, hey, can we go out and do this? Because that's important. It's not having the leader come in, having the Pathfinders say, hey, we want to go out in the community, we want to know if it's all right with the church to do that. We want to go and Carol, is this all right with the church?
You can have the Pathfinders pitch the idea.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not having the leader do it, having the
No, yes,
kids.
and they can do it. You just,
Prep
this is
them
what we
for
would
it.
like to do it.
Make sure
Like,
they're
don't just be
prepared.
like, hey, go in there and tell them that we want to go caroling.
No,
No.
they do.
Bring out like, hey, this is what we think. What would you guys like to do? And we would like you guys to bring it to the board directly. There's nothing that says that they cannot bring it to the board, and then it shows the board that they are actively engaged in the
That
ministry
would help
work.
get the church
Yep.
involved with Pathfinders.
And then they have,
And
the
they
board
could, it would
has
show
to
them that
give
it's
a,
not just the directors trying
Right.
to push
Yep.
an agenda.
That's what I'm saying.
So our Pathfinders, our youth are just full of ideas too. A lot of them have really good ideas. They come up with things that we haven't even thought of. And presenting it to them to allow them to even pick out some things, or even as they talk with church members or community members, a lot of church members are involved in other aspects of the community. So one thing our Pathfinder Club has done is the NAMI walk, or participated in cleanup from the NAMI walk. And that's because we have a church member who is involved with NAMI, and that's the national, it's mental health.
Mental illness is better.
Yeah. And so they helped to clean up after their events and stuff, and that was due to a church member who's involved in that, and we got to talking, and so a lot of times our Pathfinders, you know, visit with people at potluck or at church, and just having them recognize the things that people are involved in. A lot of our church members do the Just for the Helena of It race that they have, and so our Pathfinders the last 2 years have volunteered at the finish line table. And it's just, there's different places within our community that can also, you know, that they can also be used at to involve ourselves in appropriate ways. You know, of course, there's some things that
there
aren't.
has to be
And
plenty.
these kinds of
Yes.
things are easy to input into your calendars, because at the beginning of the year, you know the at least normal, okay, I'd like to do an outreach for Thanksgiving, or I'd like to do an outreach for Christmas, or I'd like to be involved in the Memorial Day outreach for, you know, for veterans, or for a military cemetery if you have that ability, or maybe even just going to the veterans, one of the homes and asking how you could help out potentially some of the people there. But those are the kinds of things, you know, okay, calendar wise, those typically hit at the same time every year, you know. So you can put those in ahead of time and get those approved by your board. If you ask things it'd be on a case by case basis. But some of those can be addressed right at the beginning. It makes it a little easier to organize.
And if you're doing them consistently, it makes your club known within your community. So this year we weren't gonna do the Just for the Helena of It. We started late with our club. This has been a heck of a year trying to get everything pulled together. And we actually Kyle got a phone call, and they asked specifically to have the Pathfinders back to do the finish line table, because they get such great reviews, and it gets the kids within the community, and we involve the Pathfinders and adventurers, but
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
We
it's
had
a neat way.
adventurers up front, like right at this like finish line, and they were handing out
Yeah.
water bottles while the rest of us, like Pathfinders, stood back and just let them. And like everyone was like, "Oh, they're so cute! Oh, thank you!" And like the adventurers were having fun. They'd come running back to the table, another armload of water bottles, and go hand out more.
Aww.
Very cute.
Was it
700, yeah.
There's like 7 people running.
Yeah, it's an amazing
Awesome.
opportunity.
That-
And there's a
that
lot
is
of
a-
those, just finding within your community, and, you know, and the kids have a lot of great, like I said, the kids have
And
a
it's
lot of great.
awesome that they remembered that and reached out. Hey, we haven't, they're probably thinking, hey, we haven't heard
Yeah,
from
they,
these guys.
yeah.
They-
Like, why
they're-
haven't I heard from you? We're like, oh, okay, we're coming.
So,
Hold on,
our
let's get
Pathfinders,
organized.
did a flag retirement ceremony. Sometimes some of those things can be offered to community, because you're like, okay, you know, we're gonna be doing, and when they did this, we got approached afterwards, and they said, I just want you to know that I really appreciate what you're doing with the Pathfinders, because they did that the most respectfully that I have ever seen. And this is, you know, sometimes these are gonna be the people who, that's when they start asking questions like, hey, I wanna know what's different. Why do they want to do these things? Why are they helping out with these things?
That comes back to making a calendar before the start of the year can give you the ability to present some of the potential opportunities you want your club to be part of throughout the year to the church board. so that you are not rushing around for approval for off-site events.
I mean, well, when you want to take your adventures out to Long Pine State Park, and it's the week before, and you're going, oh, I had to get approval for that? Oh, sorry, I've already made the announcement that we're going.
Yep.
Whoopsie.
You're encouraged to do community.
Yeah, we did.
You got it in. Last minute, but you got it in.
Yeah, we,
It's kind of like what we did.
like literally that Thursday.
We are encouraged to do community outreach as well as share your faith evangelistic opportunities. Some of these can be done simultaneously, such as Thanksgiving boxes and community service. Okay? So think of ways to incorporate other things. We don't have to just do one honor at a time or one community outreach at a time. We can get other things involved in there. There's other classwork that has to be done for the community, and we can apply them.
We had the adventurers do Thanksgiving cards and saying that, you know, we're praying for you. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We're thankful for who you are. Now some of these boxes went to members in our own church community that maybe needed a little assistance at the time. Some of them went to select individuals in the community by using one of the food banks that had a list of families that needed assistance during that time. But we did our own, so we put it together and we did cards and stuff with them. So that's one of the ones we did.
Well, we are talking about Christmas cards, and finding a family in our church that needs a little extra help, and we could do a Christmas box, because I know we used to do Christmas boxes,
Yeah.
but we don't do them anymore.
Like the Christmas tree where they put the little cards on it,
Mhm.
those can be done.
Yeah, we don't, like, I know we used to do the Christmas boxes, because I helped put them together,
Yep.
but we don't do them anymore. So I'm like, maybe we should start that back up. Here's my notes.
All right, Ephesians 2:10. But we are all God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Are there any questions?
I have some adventurers that would jump at the chance to do anything. And then I have some of them that are just like little hesitant to want to do this. How do I encourage those that not necessarily want to do, they want to be there for the friendship and the camaraderie, but they don't necessarily want to do the outreach part because that's too hard to do.
So this is where having the adventurers and pathfinders do these things together is really helpful, because a lot of the adventurers look up to the pathfinders, and so when they see the pathfinders want to do it, now it's cool,
Okay.
and they're like, oh wait, they're doing it, you know. And I tend to see this in the last year of adventurers more than anything. Like, okay, well, you know, we're almost out of these ages, and they want to start, you know. But if the pathfinders are doing it, they still feel that, hey, wait, this isn't, you know, too young for me, or I can have fun and do these things, and we can spend time together and spend time with other people and learn about them and maybe what they're going through and help them, and also share God, and it can be still a fun experience instead of this, oh, I don't really want to participate.
Okay, and I've also got another, that kind of leads into my second question. I've got a couple of them that are at age, one's at age and should be in Pathfinders, but he has a friend that's still in Adventurers. How do I handle that? Because he is bored with all the stuff that we're doing, and he should be over in Adventurers, I mean, out of Adventurers already, but he's hanging back for his friends. How do I encourage him to move on?
So that becomes the conversation between yourself and the Pathfinder director.
Okay.
Because
Well, and so, okay, in the specific issue you're talking about, you have, in most cases, I'd say, you know, talk to the parent. express to them that you think that they, by moving on, would have maybe a more fulfilling experience, that they would learn more than the stuff that they've already learned. And that, that we still do a lot of things together and he can still spend time with his friend.
Okay.
Of course, in some situations, parents aren't going to be amenable to that, and that's something that you have to choose as a director,
Okay.
what's gonna be okay for you.
Yeah, because he's sometimes a distraction and it's like, okay.
So that comes back to the, if you would like to be here, we need you to stay here
Okay.
and actually be here. Because, yes, we understand that you want to be with your friend, but at the same time,
We're
we're of a
accomplishing
Pathfinder
something.
age. Let's start looking for that.
Sorry. Oh, I know, sorry. With the adventures, sometimes just including them, even if they aren't willing to do it, I know some of my younger ones, they don't want to do it. But watching continuously and just being there, just encouraging the parents to bring them and to still participate, even just to be there. They don't have to do anything, but just to see it done and that repetition really helps too.
Okay.
And sometimes it's just, some kids just tend to be a little more shyer than others and just need to be drawn out a little bit, but it takes time.
And sometimes it's gonna be the other kids that draw them out.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of extroverts in my class and a lot of helpers, but there's like one or two little guys that just kind of sit there and I'm just like, oh. Yes, I got that in her.
And so she'll go up and she gives all the elderly people hugs, and she was like, really good. And then if somebody else is, off to the side, she's the one that'll go grab their hand. Here, they want to meet you too. Come on. And just like kind of drag them along. You're supposed to come with me.
I know. I kind of feel bad because her and Beth together just dragged this poor little kid around. He's just like, scared to death. And I'm like, you poor thing. You're in the middle of two extroverts. You're not gonna make it.
When they're young, they fluctuate in and out, in and out. Yes, I want to help. No, and it will be right in the middle of the same thing where it's like 1 second they're okay doing it and the next they're not. It depends on a lot of things. Are they hungry? Are they, cold, tired, whatever.
Are they hungry?
It all depends on a lot of factors. And I know some parents that really try to push their kids to go and do it. And for us, I don't want them to be pushed. I don't want it to be a thing. You're gonna grow. You're gonna get to the point where you're comfortable enough. It just takes a little bit of time sometimes.
If there are no other questions, I'm going to close with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for your love for us and continue to watch over us, be with us, and continue to watch over and protect us in this training. Help us to learn your precepts and what you would have us to know. We love you and thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah, I definitely, we've been trying to change just from, the normal things, they're not bad. There's a lot of good in them. Especially like you said, you're called back to do because they enjoy having the kids there. But I've been really wanting to get into more one-on-one personal, this person needs their lawn mowed, and we're gonna come make sure it's done. And
That's kind of what I want to do. It's like, 'cause I know we have a lot of the elderly.
yeah.